Hi there, welcome back to a new video on BBIG. In this one, we are looking at BBIG over the past 5 days and what we have seen today as well, because today BBIG is down by over 6%. We are definitely breaking below the level of $6 today. We're coming below that, so let's speak about what this means. We'll be having a look as well at options, and we'll be having a look at institutional investors, as I said we would be doing so a few days ago. So all of that is coming up in this video, and of course I'm sharing all of my opinions at the end. You guys will know that by now if you have been watching for a while, and if you haven't been watching for a while, you definitely should subscribe, because I'm going to talk about BBIG, guys, in the next few days and going forwards. If it's bearish videos that I'm putting out, then that's the videos I'll put out. If it's bullish videos, I will do that, but I will go off the data. I'll go off what I personally think based on the numbers that we are seeing and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that is what you should expect in this video. You know, all of my opinions, again, I'm going to be bullish or bearish depending on what the numbers say. I'm not going to be blindly bullish or blindly bearish. I want to give an honest opinion, but do remember as well, it is not, I repeat, not financial advice. It's all just my opinion, and you should do your own research and obviously be aware of the risks before investing in any stock, especially a short squeeze stock like this, as the risks are considered extremely high. So educate yourself, and now we're just going to jump into the video. The simple chart down here does show us that BBIG has been tanking today, down by about 6% again today. You can see the pattern of how that has been moving. In the early part of the morning, 9:30 till 10 roughly, big sell-off you can see. From there, a bit of level trading for the rest of the day. And, you know, sometimes in the end of the day, we do see a little bit of a rise. We are kind of seeing this today right now, but bear in mind there is still about an hour to go until the market does close, so anything could happen in that time period. But that's just what we are seeing so far. And the past 5 days isn't really looking too good for BBIG either. The price has dropped from highs of 772 all the way down here to 586 at the moment. We'll talk about what this means in a moment, but let's have a look at the effect that this will have on the options. But just before we do, I want to look at what the market itself is doing in general today. So everything is almost in the green. You know, we've seen a few of these actually pop up into the green by minuscule amounts, but we are still seeing a few in the red. So basically the Dow Jones is up by 0.4%, the S&P up by 0.07%, so you can see these are really up by nothing at all, and the Nasdaq and the Russell 2000 are both down by a small amount as well. So almost neutral, but it has been a bearish day for the most part in a lot of the markets. So, you know, you'd be expecting quite a flat trend, if not a little bit of a downside with BBIG if it was going on the general moves of the market. But let's have a look now at the options that we are seeing, and these are of course going to be the options which are expiring Friday, which is obviously today. We're going to refresh bar chart and see what the latest data that we have for those options is, because as I said in our last video, guys, we had a lot of options which were in the money, coming up to the point $7, $8 and so on. You can see that on the chart right now. So anywhere from what, $8.50 all the way down to $5.50. We have a lot of these calls which were actually going to be in the money. So you can see the volume down here, which is over here. So volume we can see coming into $5.50, we have volume of 1.5k. Coming down to $6, we have 3.3k. Down here at 650, we have 1.2k, and you can see so on and so on. So ultimately, we are seeing a lot of these options unfortunately finish out of the money. We are just missing these $6 options, the $6 options by a very small amount, which is a shame, because that would have been a lot more options freed up. We may just cling on to the 550 options by the end of today, which will be good. You know, it would be acceptable. But really, for calls, not too many in the money for this week, unfortunately. You can see why we have kind of plummeted by a lot this week. So yeah, a lot of people do tend to go for these options as well at, you know, signature price points like $6.50, $7.50, $10, and so on and so on. We do, generally speaking, usually see big orders at points like $10, $15, or even $5. We're not seeing that too much over here with BBIG, so it looks like people have been relatively sensible with options, because the options that I am seeing do look like options which definitely could have finished in the money. You know, even options at $6 or $7 at the time, you could argue did not seem too crazy, so I can see why people went for them. But let's have a look at what the puts are looking like over here. So unfortunately, we are seeing a lot of these puts in the money. So if you did put a put on BBIG, you probably have made some decent profits. All of these puts up to $6 are in the money, and we can see at $6 exactly, we have an extra 4,635 puts which were going to be in the money. So really, we do have a lot of puts in the money for this week. So that is the data that we are seeing. Calls versus puts and just options in general. Let's have a look at the implied volatility, which is at 178.66, and the historic volatility is at 272.38. So that is the data that we are seeing for that. Now, before we go on to do a little bit of an analysis, I want to look at the institutions which are holding BBIG as of the time being. And yes, we do have quite a few institutions holding BBIG. Now, we could cover this in a bit of detail. We can see the largest ones down here. And if you do want to see a detailed video on this in the future, I definitely can do that for you. But there are a few things which I want to speak about when it comes to institutions, because I know a lot of people see or say, you know, BBIG has institutional investors. This can only be a good thing for the company, or you should only sell when institutions sell. Honestly, guys, I am not a financial advisor, as you know, and as I have said many times, but I do not think that is right. You know, just because institutions hold stocks like BBIG is not necessarily a good thing for us. Bear in mind, guys, the main purpose of an institution, generally speaking, is to make money for its investors and for itself, not for random retail investors. I think we should remember that. Again, I'm not saying that these institutions do have ill intentions or anything like that, but I'm just saying it is also important to note that just because an institution holds a stock, it isn't necessarily a good thing or a positive thing in my personal opinion. And we have seen this kind of in the past with, you know, stocks like AMC, for example. People think that they were lending out shares to shorts, and also people think that they were selling their shares to basically plummet the price of AMC. So it just goes to show, guys, that is an example in this instance, not necessarily directly applicable, but it just goes to show, you know, institutions are not necessarily on our side. So again, selling when other people sell, I do not think that is the best way to go. I think we should all have our own exit strategies with every single stock, and BBIG is no exception. But yeah, we do have a few institutional investors. I just wanted to disclose my personal thoughts on that, because yeah, I have had a few questions, you know, asking what I thought to the amount of institutions holding BBIG. Now we're going to have a look at how the share price has been moving and giving a few of my thoughts on this one. So one thing that I have said with BBIG in the past many times is that I like the stock. You know, I don't see any reason why this one cannot see a short squeeze. The numbers are there, the data looks good, but we need one extra thing. I think personally, in my opinion, if we want to see a short squeeze, I think we need interest from retail. I'm talking about people who want to buy the stock and go long on the stock. We need these people in the stock, of course, to keep buying it, to keep putting the pressure on shorts by forcing the price up, and of course making the shorts continue to lose money. And of course, other effects with the price going up would be, you know, FOMO kicking in as well, and that sort of thing. But ultimately, the price is continuing to go down. So I'm not going to say for a second that, you know, the retail investors are not necessarily as bullish on BBIG anymore. But from my personal opinion, I think with the way BBIG is going right now, I would be quite hesitant to buy this one at the moment. I know some people are going to buy this one, and some people are going to criticize me in the comments, saying that this is a perfect time to buy the dip. And if you think it's a perfect time to buy the dip, of course, by all means, you can do that. But I think personally, for me with BBIG, if I was looking to enter this stock right now, I would leave it a few days. If the price continues to fall, that would be fine, because of course I will have left it. And if the price does continue to rise, I would be comfortable with that as well. Again, I do like BBIG. I must stress that in every single video. I want the stock to do well. However, the price action is going downwards, and as I have said, my opinion is based on what I see as a logical fact, and I know that there are a few things going on behind the scenes, and that's completely fine. Again, if BBIG does start an upwards trend again, I do not see any reason why it cannot be a buy. I just think right now, I personally would avoid it, and that is my personal opinion. Again, if the move starts upwards again, I would be happy to miss out on a little bit of those profits to get in at a more stable point with a higher chance of actually getting some positive returns, rather than losing trying to bet on the way down. Just my personal opinion. I'm not saying that this is over. I know I have stressed that a few times in this video, but I just wanted to reinforce that again, because I know some people are going to give me a long rant in the comment section saying why now is the perfect time to buy BBIG. Ultimately though, you should do what you think is right. But now let's have a look at what the technical indicators are saying on the 1 day, 5 day and 1 month chart. So on the 1 day chart, you can see the numbers are looking completely fine. We are seeing a moving average figure of 581. Now that's a little bit lower than where we are right now, because it is catching up, because it's a lagging indicator. The MACD is quite neutral, but it is actually towards a bullish side, because we have seen a spike towards the end of day. This is not uncommon, but it is what we are seeing again today. The RSI figure down here is at 63, so it's not too far from neutral either. I definitely wouldn't consider it anything to be worried about at the time being. Now on the 5-day chart, we can see the trend for BBIG is of course moving down. We are seeing that moving average figure on 578, I believe it is, perhaps a little bit lower, but that's what we are seeing down there. We can see over here the MACD trend is becoming bullish again because we have had this run towards the end of day. Notably though, this is something that does happen quite often, so it doesn't necessarily mean the early signs of a trend change yet. I must stress that. I do hope a trend change has come, but it doesn't mean it yet in my opinion. And on the RSI, we are sat at 60. Now on the 1 month chart, we can see the numbers are quite clear. The moving average is still catching up because it is a 50-day MA. We are seeing the MACD down here cross down to being bearish right now, and again these lines are coming down as well, so we are indicating a bearish trend on the MACD. We can see that RSI is coming a little bit lower than we would expect. It's at 44, so again quite neutral right now, nothing to be concerned about in my opinion. But yeah, we definitely are seeing a bit of a move downwards with this stock. Now this is not necessarily a bad thing, because when we look to the other quote-unquote meme stocks, a few of these are down today. We are seeing MRIN actually up, but we are seeing AMC down. We can see LCID, which some people consider a meme stock, is down as well. We are seeing actually ATER is up, so you know it is a mixed bag when we look at these stocks. But yeah, it is important to note that a few of these others are down, so it's not necessarily the biggest deal in the world. But I just think right now with this stock, I would be cautious, and that's just my personal opinion. Regardless, so guys, I will keep making videos on BBIG based on what the numbers say. You know, I'll be looking at the facts and giving my opinions based on that. I will not be biased to the best of my ability. I will just look at what the numbers say and how the stock is moving and give my opinions based on that data. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Goodbye. So thank you for watching through till the end, but let me tell you about our Discord. So on your screen you'll be seeing the N2S Finance Discord. Obviously it is split into multiple sections. Basically at the top we have updates from me and all that kind of good stuff. If you scroll down a bit further, we have the main sections where we focus on cryptos, SPACs and other hot stocks, including penny stocks, even stable growth stocks as well, and we even have a special AMC GME chat. If you scroll down you can see some research and DD from the community. We also have funny memes, and you can see actual contributions from members down here. And again, if you do join us, it is completely free, link is down below. But if you do want to become a Patreon, you will actually get a pink sticker which will be displayed on your name. So your name will come up in pink as mine comes up in red down here, and that will show that you are a Patreon. But other than that guys, you can join completely for free down below. You do not have to pay anything if you do not want to. Thank you for watching, see you soon.